The areas of the DPR and the LPR along the left bank of the Seversky Donetsk River are free, Sergei Shoigu, the head of the Russian Ministry of Defense, stated on a conference call. Svyatogorsk, Krasny Lyman and 15 other towns are free by now. He added that by 7th of June, the Russian and the LPR forces hold 97% of the republic. Sergei Shoigu noted that the residential areas of the city of Severodonetsk have been completely liberated. The liberation of the industrial area of Severodonetsk and the nearby villages is still ongoing. The offensive operation near the town of Popasnaya is escalating. The demining of the Mariupol seaport was completed. It is functioning normally by now and it has received a few cargo ships. The seaport of Berdyansk has started its work. Vladimir Putin ordered to make the ports ready for the loading of grain. The Zaporozhye nuclear power plant, the largest such plant in Europe, which is also capable of generating up to 50% of all nuclear power generation in Ukraine, operates normally. Sergei Shoigu, the Russian Minister of Defense, announced the opening of the road links between the Russian mainland and Crimea. Previously, it was possible to get to the Crimea only via the Crimean bridge built across the Kerch Strait. He added that the supply of water via the North Crimean Channel to the Crimean Peninsula has been resumed as well. Sergei Shoigu spoke about the plans for a railway communication between the main territory of Russia and Crimea. According to him, the Russian Ministry of Defense and the Russian railways authorities have created conditions for such connection with Crimea by restoring 1,200 kilometers of railways. He concluded that the delivery of goods by the railroad to Mariupol, Berdyansk and Kherson has already begun. The Kremlin denied the information that Moscow won't discuss the status of the Kherson and Zaporozhye regions with Ukraine. The press secretary of Vladimir Putin, Dmitry Peskov, commented on the information that appeared in the mass media that, supposedly, if Kiev agrees to negotiate, the status of those regions won't be discussed. Earlier, a number of mass media outlets reported that Kherson and Zaporozhye regions won't be included in the new agreement between Russia and Ukraine, since the vast majority of residents there supports Russia. The investigative committee of Russia charged the commander of the 2nd Ukrainian Self-Propelled Artillery Battalion, Lieutenant Colonel Alexander Plotnikov, with war crimes, namely a brutal treatment of the civilian population. It was established that from 25th of February till 10th of March 2022, Alexander Plotnikov repeatedly gave orders to shell the houses and socially significant buildings from 152mm SPGs Akatsiya, while fully knowing that the people who do not take part in the hostilities live in those DPR settlements. It was a violation of the Geneva Convention, namely the acts of protection of civilian persons in a time of a war. During those attacks, the local residential buildings and social facilities were destroyed. Some people were killed. During the interrogation, Alexander Plotnikov fully admitted his guilt and repented of his deeds. The criminal investigation is still ongoing. The press service of the Belarusian Ministry of Defense reported that a training on the transition from peacetime to wartime began among the Belarus forces with the participation of all their servicemen. The general orientation of the training is to conduct consistent training with all categories of the servicemen, subunits, military units, formations and military command and control bodies for the organized implementation of the activities. The Belarusian Ministry of Defense explained that the events are being held in accordance with the plan for the training of the Belarusian forces for their intended purpose in the 2021-2022 academic year. The combat readiness classes will be held after the conscription into the military service and the learning of the basic military training, the ministry specified. The government of the Kurdish Autonomy of the Eastern Syria, the Syrian Democratic Forces, announced their readiness to cooperate with the Syrian government led by Bashar al-Assad, the Al Mayadeen reported while citing a statement from the SDF. According to the latest data, the decision to cooperate with Damascus was made due to the reports of the upcoming Turkish invasion of north of Syria. We held an extraordinary meeting with the leaders of the military councils to discuss the latest events at the north and east of Syria after the threat of a possible Turkish invasion of the region. We believe that any aggression will escalate the Syrian crisis. The occupation projects, including the recent threats from Turkey, are only a prologue to the division of Syria, the SDF announced. Konstantin Restsev, specially for the Anna News.